fist fight about entrepreneurship. I just had a fist fight about work and life with my best friend since I was 6. He basically called me retarded because for 2 years of talking about entrepreneurship I made nearly zero money. He said working with shovel is better because at least he have results. He have driver license. I have nothing, I just talk. I'm 21, no driver license, no nothing. I'm crazy according to them. I don't know how to think about it. I feel like I don't belong to this world. I just heard vigilante hopeless story. I'm just confused. Drunken post. Maybe it was a wake-up call to do something. I mean, talking about it doesn't seem like it would lead to a fist fight. Were you bragging about maybe being better, or about what you're gonna do, and how if they are not doing the same they are wasting their time? I've encountered this before with people. I heard a story once about Michael Jordan. Apparently Charles Barkley was talking a lot of smack, and everyone was asking Jordan questions for his response, and things of that nature. Finally Michael Jordan looked at them and said, "I'll do my talking on the court." Apparently they murdered the Phoenix Suns that day. Don't know whether it's true or not, haven't bothered to look, but maybe it's relevant to you. And to say you don't belong on this world is a lie to yourself. Stop thinking that way. Go out and get your worth. It's not going to walk right up to you. Go do something about it and don't talk about doing anything until it's actually done. I'm a bit wasted today. I'm sorry for all this. It's just broke out all of a sudden. We were talking, I was eager to get some truth. I asked my friend, maybe right. You always talk behind my back. Just tell me I'm full if sh, I will understand it. And he burst told me I'm retarded, that in 2 years I achieved nothing, that business and world I talk about only exist in my imagination. The only world according to him is bricklayer for rest of your life. When he called me retarded I attacked him. I stand for my truth. It's my life. I believe people can live their lives like human being, not like dogs swinging shovel all their life for 300 used a month. If they want me to operate shovel for 300 a month for my whole life, then I rather die standing than live on my knees, and I thought they would understand it. But they didn't feel the same way. You definitely belong on this world along with me and the rest of us future 1% E.R. Hope you know what that means. LOL. FCK man. A best friend. From the age of 6. And it all came down for such lousy reason. There is no justice on THS world. Right now I just lost all my friends. I'm going to sleep tomorrow. World is not going to be the same again for me. I'm ethically alone. It's overall because of fucking money. Pathetic. Don't talk with such negativity. Things will get better only if you make them. Yeah. But what if MJ, Vig and all the others doesn't exist? What if they are just forum trolls? I know it's crazy, but my world seems to believe that they doesn't exist. I believe MJ have a Lambo. I believe Vig lives somewhere in the Pacific. But these things among people I live are fairy tales. And I'm an alien. I noticed your location is Claremont. I lived in Groveland for several years growing up. I understand your frustration, man. It would be nice if our family and friends understood us better and fully supported us, but unfortunately that's not how the world works a lot of times. Something I am slowly learning is the fact that it doesn't matter who the person is, family, friend, etc. You can't really expect them to understand until you can back up your claims with hard evidence. Words only get you so far. My advice would be try to look at it from the other person's perspective, as hard as that may be. For 2 whole years he or they or whoever has heard you talk about this thing we call entrepreneurship, yet you still don't have a penny to show for it. Most people are raised to just follow the status quo. So when they see you, or me, or anyone talking about how we're going to start this awesome new business and be free from the 9-to-5 life, or how we're going to do this or do that, yet they see all this talk and zero results and they think we're crazy, you really can't blame them. If anything, all of our talking and no doing probably reaffirms their current belief that the rich and successful people just got lucky, and that they are doing the right thing by just following the crowd. With that said, you and I and everyone else on this forum has in some way or another been introduced to an alternative path to live our lives. One that is much more exciting, and one that we would gain much more fulfillment out of. But it obviously doesn't come easy, or we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. It's up to us to find our motivation, our why. We are the ones who have to forge this path. No one is going to do it for us. The information is out there, we just have to get our asses into gear and keep making small steps every day to achieve our goals. Keep your head up. I've been in some dark places myself. As I'm sure many of us have. You will find your way out of it. Success is something you attract by the person you become. People view their lifestyles differently than yours. Fast lane is just one way to live your life, although it is not the correct way for many people. It is all about perspective. Perspective comes from mentality, which is not created solely on the books, articles, and forums you read, but by the actions you take in your everyday life. For 2 years you have, from my interpretation, preached to your friend about a lifestyle that you have not taken action in. You want him to believe in a philosophy that you have not embodied yourself. It's not him you should be getting angry at. If you want to prove a point, become successful and he will have nothing to attack. Numbers speak volumes. Words lose their value quickly without the action to back them up. Fix your attitude towards other people's lives and focus your efforts on your own. If he is your best friend, and he is happy, you should be happy for him. Once you achieve success, he might become curious about it, but just like religion, you should never try to force your opinion and philosophies on others. Toxicity breeds toxicity. Also, there is a reason successful people don't actively look for people to mentor. There are plenty of people in the world who are ready to start on the path. It's up to you to find them, connect, and communicate with them. Spend your time and effort on people and projects that are worth your time. What your time is worth is determined by self-worth. Good luck. Well, actually, MJ sold his Lambos. Notice how there's plural with Lambo, but I know what you're trying to get at. These people are as real as you and me, the only difference being that they're farther ahead than we are. Maybe it's time for ET to come. 1. Go where you feel accepted. That's the right thing to do. Let your friends sulk in negativity and sidewalk mediocrity. Some people can't or won't change, and you'll have to accept that. Let me share something about people not understanding. Now, I could be wrong and I am open to discussion about it. I'm the wisest man alive because I know one thing, and that is I know nothing. Anyways, I am having a hard time continuing with the general business major I am taking at my university. There are about 6 classes in the whole major that I would have liked to take ... and I have taken 4 already, and they were in my gen ed. With that said, I found a new major called Interdisciplinary Studies, which is where you get to study 3 different areas at once. They split the credits in half, so it's just like a regular major, just with 3 different areas of study. Now, as an entrepreneur, I realize that I can buy just about any book and read it and learn what I need to learn to continue my journey. But I also realize that this time I'm using in my classes doesn't feel like when I am reading. When I am reading, I am enjoying it, and having a great time learning. Here in this business major, I feel like I'm just doing filler work. It really just feels like grinding it out for a degree. Basically, everyone in my family thinks I'm crazy right now for wanting to switch to interdisciplinary studies. I was thinking in majoring in psychology, communicators and minoring in international business, something I wish there was a major for. The great thing about it being a minor is that it is only the essential classes. The two majors I just brought up. I feel like using psychology in entrepreneurship is invaluable, and being able to properly communicate is also invaluable. The two wealthiest entrepreneurs that I speak to on a monthly basis that live near me have given me the green light. These guys have hefty net worths, and are telling me to just drop out anyways. I'm not out of respect for my parents, anyways. I wanted to see what it was like. My parents, on the other hand, without a hefty net worth, are telling me to stay the course on a business major as if that will make entrepreneurship easier. They think that people won't want to do business with me if I don't have a title. I deal with this every day, and sometimes it's hard picking between the ones you love so dearly, and the people who are where you want to be sometime in this crazy life. I have battles with it daily, and I don't feel like I belong here sometimes either. But you gotta keep moving forward and keep fighting your demons. So yeah, don't give up. BTW, if anyone can throw opinions at my major change decision pending, please do so. Still haven't decided for sure, but I'm pretty positive it's going down. Haha, awesome man, it's nice out here with all these hills. Sorry op. You are to blame for all of this. You effed up on all levels. You ask your best friend for his honest opinion, then attack him when he tells you? Are you serious? No wonder you have no more friends, plus what he said is true. Like someone said before me, you gotta treat this as a wake-up call. You don't need to use his advice of taking a shovel, but he is right. You haven't made a diamond of just talked about business with doing anything. Empty talk. Here's how I see it, based on what you've told us. Your friend's a sidewalker or slow laner. You espousing your entrepreneurial or fast lane principles and intentions could be perceived as a direct attack on him and his life choices. His ego being hurt, he lashes out at you, at something he knows you are sensitive about, which is your thus far apparent lack of results. That said, only one fist fight with your best friend of 15 years is pretty damn good. Either you'll talk this out and get over it, or you'll accept each other's differences and part ways. It's important that you see your own part to play in this conflict, however. As I just woke up a little bit more sober, I know I'm to blame for this, but it wasn't like I said every day, oh, I'm gonna be entrepreneur. I just did my own thing. But the fact that I never had no money irritated him the most. It was in and off friendship with him. This last time I just said one more chance, and it turned out how it turned out. I'm going to let him go his way. But it's funny how fast a person who you grew up with can change attitude towards you, and it's even more funnier that this fight was over the way I don't socialize that much, I don't have a lot of money, etc. 15 years down the drain. Perhaps it's time for you to pick up the shovel for a while? The only thing that lit me on fire was working 8 to 10 hour shifts, full time, for a machine shop. 100% humidity and 110 F heat during the summer. I was generally outside in the sun moving massive pieces of metal and scrubbing machines for about 6 of the 8 hours. I did this for about 6 months until I got all my shit together and finally became who I needed to be. It was this work that gave me the correct mindset and attitude that I needed. I am forever thankful that I worked through the hardships of some backcountry machine shop, because it made me who I am now, and it was 100% for the betterment of myself. No matter how much I hated it, I didn't quit until the job was done, and it gave me the confidence I needed for business. Working a hard physical job will make you wish you had started something successful earlier. You need to suffer a good bit before you can truly understand the magnitude of why it's important to make your own path through this world. Currently your mindset is pretty much garbage. Another thing, don't talk business or any sort of business plans you may have with coworkers or friends, even if they are lifelong friends. This stuff can really confuse and tear relationships apart since they are such conflicting worlds and ideas. However, take my words on this subject with a grain of salt, as there are some people you can casually talk to about business who don't even care to ever have one of their own. I have plenty of slow lane friends that I hang out with on weekends and no words of business are ever spoken. I know it's not what they're into, and we are together to enjoy each other's company, not particularly talk about how I'm gonna be this town's big shot in no time. No one gives a shit about how much you want your life to go your way. At all, period. It doesn't matter how close to you they are, deep down. These people would probably get very annoyed, very quickly, if you shove your future plans down their throats every other conversation you have with them. This is especially true if you have absolutely nothing to show for your words. Oh, what a bunch of bull. 15 years down the drain? What? Are you guys married or something? You get into fistfights with your friends because they notice that you are all talking and no action? Man, I don't want to kick you while you're down. But you need to wake the FCK up. You're making excuses. If you have nothing after 2 years, you're talking about it looking for. There is none. Here is what you do. Choose one thing. Work on it 24/7 until it nets 10K a month. Then you think about what to do moving forward. And you know what that means? It's Italian. It means think whatever you want, but act like anyone else. You owe your friend an apology. You specifically asked him if you were full of shit and he was honest with you about how? And you punched him? I don't care how wasted you were or how much the truth hurt. He was honest with you and you abused him. That's not friendship. Agree with several other people. Few points to remember and act on. No man is an island. You cannot make it to the top alone. You need your friends and associates for that. Getting into a fight for getting honest feedback, really? Go out and apologize to him, right now. In entrepreneurship there is no ego. Leave it at the door and accept all criticism and use it to improve yourself and your products. Talking means nothing. I can talk all the time about how rich I am or how rich I am going to become, but the only thing that matters is the here and now. Yesterday is a lesson, tomorrow is nothing but a dream, but today is the present, the only thing that matters. Are you where you want to be? No? Make a detailed plan and follow it step by step. Start today. Take as much criticism as possible and use it to improve yourself. End lesson. You were friends since you were 6 years old. Don't you think he wants the best for you then? He's got nothing to be jealous of, as you said. So far you didn't bring any solid results to the table. Apparently you needed a kick in the butt. Take it like a man and use it to improve yourself. I feel like shit for yesterday. All replies are right about the fact himself entitled Lites. Thanks everyone for honest opinion. It is a wake-up call. Out of interest, what have you done business-wise for the last 2 years? Sold fake likes on FB at first, tried to make an indie game. 3 months ago I wrote Kindle books for kids based on popular video game. All of them got banned this month because of copyright infringement. Right now I'm creating logos, and this week we'll try FB ads with Teespring for the first time, targeting underserved professions basically and just effing around. Edit. Wow, I just got 3 paid logo design requests from post I made yesterday on Reddit. I agree with using now as a turning point. It seems like you're just jumping from one half-assed idea to the next. Make things up with your friend, stop talking about entrepreneurship, choose one idea and work on it exclusively and continuously. Even if it doesn't work out, he'll probably have more respect for you for sticking at something. Question is, what are you going to do now? Feeling sorry for yourself won't help. Maybe you should pick up the shovel for a bit. There is a lot to be learned from working hard for little pay. Keep your eyes open. You'll see opportunities, ways that you can add value, problems that you can solve. Sure, You'll have less time to dither around with little ideas, but you'll also value your time a lot more and will be in a position to make concentrated focused effort rather than just effing around. You know what I mean? Go back to your friend and apologize. Whether you want to or not. It is a step towards getting your shit together. Become the bigger man. Show humility. Put him first. Put your friendship first. Fix that first, or you will regret it the rest of your life. Stop posting here until you get shit together. Get your head clear. Stop fist fighting people that point out truth. You asked him for the truth, and he gave it to you. Don't give up chasing success, but in the meantime be willing to take criticism. Your friend is right, but please, stop feeling sorry for yourself. This was a good lesson to grow up a little bit. I'd def make up with your buddy and thank him for the feedback. He obviously cares about you enough to want to bring it up. The problem here is not that shoveling pays and entrepreneurship doesn't. The problem is that working to an end pays, while blabbing about dreams of Lambos doesn't. I used to have this in my SIG. Maybe it's time to put it back. It means, there is profit in all work, but mere talk only leads to poverty. Lol, hilarious. All talk for 2 years about how going to be a baller. You did nothing in 2 years. You talk shit to your friend. Your friend gets irritated and you get into a fight. Man, you suck. Have you considered that maybe your friend is not such a jerk for giving you a reminder that you haven't made any money in your 2 years of entrepreneurship? Maybe it's time to change your game plan. If something clearly isn't working, you gotta do something different. The fact is, you lashed out, you attacked. So it's up to you to apologize for your part. Chances are, your friend doesn't understand what you're doing. But no need to get sore over a little criticism. You reacted the way you did because a part of you knows that he's right. So subconsciously you took the attack to heart, and attacked him. Maybe you've been procrastinating, or haven't been as focused as you should be, but even you seem to think you aren't doing what you should be. Reevaluate your plan, get your act together, apologize to your friend, and get your driver's license because it will probably make you feel better. Rather than laugh and stroke your ego, he was honest. That is a trait of a friend and not someone that will stick around for the when you're successful in most cases. Imagine you do become successful, there is going to be a lot of new faces around you with different intentions. And the one face you could recognize and count on you cut off. Apologize to your friend if you haven't lost him as one already. To be clear, I'm not going to defend myself here because I'm guilty for sure, but I never talked about how I'm going to be a baller. I wasn't bragging. Sure, I said here and there I wish I had an Audi and I know what to do to get there, I just need more time. I criticized in Poland to be a baller you need to earn $800 1,000 minimum pay is $280. For you guys it's pathetic. People in other countries spend this kind of money every week while here you work for it very hard. I know it's easier to make this money online than to slave away. Why I didn't make it yet then? To be honest, last year I dropped out of school because I needed some space. I was depressed after 2 breakups in a row. I was 19 at the time. A year passed, I made couple of dollars here and there, but no stable income. This year I came back to school, actually I'm almost finishing it right now, which is great, and overall I feel way better. This year I have to make it, especially if the goal is so low. Funny thing, just yesterday I had 3 people want me design logos for them. I charge $100 for complete logo package, in all formats, in 3 color palettes. I explained why a simple logo in PNG RGB from Fiverr won't satisfy my clients, and so far one of them agreed. I should get a response today from other 2. If I make $300 this week, should I still pick up the shovel? I don't have anything against hard work like I said, but I feel like I can do better than that. It's not necessary just yet, this is a bigger picture. I don't blame him, He just can't see the process. If I was him, and someone told me that there is a way to live without slaving away, but he didn't had any proof, I would get pissed too. This week I have to get the proof, and from the looks of it, it seems like I'm closer than ever. Sure, 1 times 300 is still just 1 times 300, but I have idea of teaching these people how to create logos, how to format them properly for printing on packaging so they will save money on failed attempts. I plan to put this into a product and use FB ads and maybe eBay to promote it. We will see. There is a million things that me and many other people in this thread can say to you. In fact, I had 5 paragraphs in this text box before I came to my senses. If the tone of your previous post was like how you speak to your friend, I can understand why he would get upset. Aggressiveness rarely solves issues, it only escalates situations and tempers. With that said, what exactly are you trying to get out of this thread? Approval for your thought process or action steps? Disapproval of his reaction and his lifestyle? I'm confused. There are tons of people on this forum who are always looking to help people out, and I, along with many people, understand what it's like to go through the rough patches and breakups. But if people feel you will attack them if they criticize or critique you at all, I'm sure you can figure out how the responses will be. I would take Vigilante's advice and run for the hills. Meditate with some monks and be at peace with yourself and those around you. Come back with a fresh mind and a more positive outlook on life, and I'm sure things will change tremendously. I was just trying to get some advice how to solve this. Yes, I will apologize him, and life will go on. They have hills in Poland. We do have mountains. I have an advice that helped me. I have not experienced the problems you are expressing here, like brawling with friends, etc. But I have experienced what I like to think of a cultural niche of entrepreneurship. Let me explain. We are all humans. If you go online and search for entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial communities, it's rather easy to devour hours and hours of information, tips and tricks and advice on the subject. I did this too, soon a year ago. I got frustrated when things I read online didn't work out IRL, or when a great advice weren't applicable to my case. Fact is, I tried to skip a step. I wanted to get in the game so badly that I forgot an important step. This is not me telling you to be philosophical about it, just that you take a good long thought on who you are, where you come from and what is your background. Your culture, background, childhood or the social norms that you live in are not to be seen as something to hold you back. But you have to understand what you are dealing with. I come from Sweden, and many, especially older generations, still live with the thinking of the janty look it up, you will laugh, and in socialist norms. I would never let this hold me back, but I understand it, and therefore I can use it to my benefit. I can talk business and entrepreneurship with my friends. Then I talk about hard work, sharing, taxes and education with my elders. I can be the man who stands on the outside looking in and adopt to the situation as it is. Stop forcing your belief onto others, understand and be humble. I did this. I looked up my country on and benchmarked it to other countries regarding taxes, insurance, employment etc. Not what it is in the present but how the trends look. I wrote 2 pages in Google Docs about pros and cons about living in my country and what it has brought to my life. I wrote down social norms that I live in without actually thinking about it. Once you get aware of things you do and say because of an unspoken norm, it all becomes very clear and you can avoid it. Reread to understand your inner mindset. Write a 5-step list of micro tasks that you will perform by the end of the week. Stop hitting your friends. If you can't take criticism, you're in the wrong field and all you do is dream about it. Go get a regular job and do that until you feel like you get your things straight. Don't litter the forum with stupid excuses and curses, and Rojan, drop the fake Facebook crap. Good luck. P.S. There are so many great advices in this thread, all written for you. Take them serious, or don't take them at all. I think your best friend is right. How did you survive for 2 years without money? Get a job and work hard. Then consider entrepreneurship. Quit being a pussy. Ah. Money. The root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. It is about your attitude, not money. But who doesn't love money? Obviously it's different when you're broke compared to when you're not. The need for money will make you do evil things. I should have said, speaking for myself, it isn't about the money for me. It is about building the biggest businesses I can. It's about freedom and the game for me. I have to say that personally I believe for 40% of people, it's about money and the value creation. And the other 59% it's just about the money, and 1% couldn't care less about the money. I think it's absolutely rare to find someone who genuinely couldn't care less about the money. For me personally, it's about the money more than the value, but it's not solely about the money. If you haven't apologized to your friend yet, get on it. I don't know what countries you believe people are spending $1,000 a week in. I do, but I'm making a point here, but you have to work your ass off to earn $1,000 a week in the United States. However, you said spend $1,000 a week, meaning you'd have to earn somewhere in the range of $7,500 a year before taxes. Regardless of what TV and movies make you believe about the United States, $7,500 is actually quite difficult to earn working for someone else, that is. Only 30% of US households make more than $7,500 a year. Households, as in 2 people working full-time, not single people. I find this entire thread annoying. Go do something that actually helps people. Stop acting like you're better than your friends. Stop being jealous of what everyone else has. This pretty much sums up my thoughts that I couldn't put into context earlier. Thanks for that. Every time I see this thread pop up, it brings to mind friendships. I have hundreds of acquaintances. From those hundreds, I have friends. I have several friends from the board here, many of which I met at beer and pancakes. From within the entire universe of friends, I have a handful of good friends. I have a couple of people that have developed into being good friends here on the forum. From the handful of good friends, I have 2 to 3 lifetime friends. I might have not known them my whole life, but I will likely know them the rest of my life. These people I can count on one hand. They're people I could trust with my life. Using your word, my best friends can call me retarded when I am being retarded. Note, this was not an opening for you assholes to do so. Point being, sometimes, it takes people close to us to help us see who we are. I want honesty from the people I surround myself with, especially from my best friend since I was 6. I don't have to agree with them, but I want them to call it as they see it when asked or when necessary. I don't give up friends very easily. I guard them. And I don't let friends really into my inner circle very easily, if ever. It's the reason I can count them on one hand. Your story to me is one where you took one of the people closest to you, and punched him in the face. It must have been the alcohol. The older you get, the more you will realize that a real friend is not replaceable. I'll put in 2 things. Number 1. Keep business and friends separate. Number 2. There are so many opportunities for fast-lane businesses in Poland. I've been there countless times in the past years. Don't take this the wrong way, but zip your mouth, go out, and create or provide value. I used to be told all the time I was living in a fantasy world. It's just a hobby, it's not a real job. This is part of the process. The rest of us go through this same stuff. I've had to sacrifice as many relationships out of my life. Don't expect people to understand you, approve of you, accept you, and be happy about the changes you're making in life. If I remember right, only 1% to 2% of the world actually has a mindset to be an entrepreneur. It's a mindset and lifestyle. One that most don't want to take the time or take action to become. Your friend does what he knows how to do. If you made $0, it means you need to change your approach to your business. What's not working? What are your communication skills like? Presentation skills. Writing skills. Language barriers. Leadership skills. And for the most part you have to gain some mental toughness. This isn't your friend's dream. It's yours. The world is filled with negative people, haters, and gossipers, drama queens, rumor mongers, and people that want to sabotage other people's lives. There are obstacles and hurdles. And this kind of stuff is just building your character. Anger is your number one enemy and getting defensive. And I've had to learn this myself. Anger is going to be your roadblock, and if you don't have a way to dump all the garbage from emotions, feelings, and thoughts, you're never going to make it. You have to learn to control your stress, anxiety, and focus in life. Your friend may have been there since you were 6. Life is filled with relationship breakups. Doesn't matter if it's friends, lovers, friends. We part our ways because of negative behaviors, actions, thoughts, and words. That's not standing up for yourself when you fight. That's allowing your ego to talk and make you believe you're tough and rough. That's not even tough. Gangsters do it every day, and anger is their greatest weakness. Fighting is showing you beat the crap out of someone. It doesn't show how intelligent you are, or that you're a problem solver, and a solution creator. Fighting is not a solution, it's a problem with anger and past issues. This situation is showing you what you need to work on. Change it and take action and get different results. Life is hard and no one really gives a rip whether you succeed or not. In my case I found that out. No one cares, but you. It's your life. And not everyone is going to support you. He told you the truth you asked for. You got angry because from the outward perspective, you knew he was right. So you got defensive, and offended. In a book I recently read called Leadership and Self-Deception, it says, take criticism with a smile and use the feedback. Try to be as true to yourself as you possibly can while trying to refine your approach in business and life. Start living from the heart. Did you? Well, it's your fault for being all talk then. What did you expect? If you haven't gotten results by now, then maybe you should look at your alternatives. I'd be pissed too if I heard you talk shit for 2 years with nothing to show for it. What did you do these 2 years? What did you do right, and what did you do wrong? How can you fix this so the future will be better? Grab a pen and paper, and write the answers down. Share these answers with the people here if you can, to see if they think the changes might give you a shot. BTW, the part of MJ and other rich people being like a fairy tale is something I had to deal with. It was only when the book got delivered to my home physically that it hit me this is real. I stared at the book for almost 30 minutes because it was like a new reality. I had already read it on the internet and seen this forum whatnot, and I never knew that. I thought it wasn't real. It was confirmation at that moment that if I am holding this book that I didn't believe subconsciously, then I can also make my goals a reality. It took a while for it to sink in. I saw this thread a while ago, but never commented on it. For some reason while I was laying down it came to mind. Are you willing to give a status update? Are you and your friend on good terms now? Yeah? So basically, reading this whole thread makes me cringe so bad, but I learned a lot from this single event. We're still buddies. I apologized him after some time and everything was cool. When topic goes into work and making money during conversations, I just let people talk. I don't really say anything anymore, and they understand this. Nobody is mad anymore on anyone. Things I was accused of, I did in 1 year, just as a test to myself. Could I really do this, or was I really bsing myself? Turns out I only get to work when there's fire under me. It sucks because when it's gone I'm back at square one. Actually, if it wasn't for this fight, I would probably still be doing nothing and had nothing. I'm glad things turned out this way. These are the best kinds of things to look back on as long as you grow from them. Keep it up, dude.